And now, the TRM Community Game Awards 2024, with your host, Michael Webb.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the TRM Community Game Awards 2024. First of all, of course, thank you to Siestro for resubscribing with Twitch Prime. Greatly appreciate it. Of course. Oh, there it is. Hi, thing. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me tonight for the TRM Community Game Awards 2024. I appreciate all of you joining for the award show. This is the first year I've really put on a big show for this. I did an original show in 2020, but it wasn't really a show. It was just a thing on my crappy blog page. So we're trying this out, and I'm hoping it's going to work out. Like I said, thank you all so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. I'm not going to take much more sass from you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Anyway, point of the matter being, let's get to the show tonight. So, well, we can get right into our first award, actually. So this is, of course, for Best DLC of 2024, which is just the best DLC for a game that came out in 2024. The original game doesn't have to come out in 2024, but the DLC has to. That's the only rules with that. So the winner for Best DLC of 2024 is, of course, Splatoon 3 Side Order. I mean, that's not really a surprise, so I didn't really hype it up that much. As you can see by the vote total, it wasn't even close. 10 votes versus 4 votes for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, and 1 for Persona 3 Reload episode. I guess. I don't know what you want to recount for, but okay. I didn't count it. Google Forms did. Anyway, best licensed game of 2024. You guys know what it means. Just a game that has like a popular licensed property. So we have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Marvel Rivals, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. A nice long title there. Capcom Multiverses and SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star Game. And the winner, I mean, this isn't going to surprise anyone either. It's Marvel Rivals, of course, by also a pretty considerable margin, 9 votes versus 1 vote for everything else except SpongeBob SquarePants, the Patrick Star Game, which got 2. And of course, like I said, I mean, those first 2 aren't really surprises. Those are pretty much just the biggest award winners in those categories. We have a lot closer categories, which we'll get to later on tonight. But this is not one of them. This is the final award before our first little segment here. This is Best Sports Game of All Time, which I wanted to include in here as like one of the few people that in my friend group that actually likes sports games. So we have ESPN NFL 2K5 for 2004, Fight Night Round 3 from 2006, MVP Baseball 2005 from actually 2005, NFL Street from 2004, Rocket League from 2015, and Wii Sports from 2006. And of course, you can probably guess the winner for Best Sports Game of All Time is... Congratulations to Wii Sports, of course. Not really a big surprise. This one, it was rough, but for me, because I guess I wanted one of my sports games to win, but you know the way it is. Wii Sports, incredible game, incredible legacy. It definitely deserves it. So congratulations to Wii Sports. All right, now let's get you to your first parody segment for tonight. This is titled EA Sports Give Us Your Money, and it's kind of a reflection, I guess you could say, about the state of EA Sports.
EA Sports, give us your money. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Thank you for joining us for how we've shaken up Madden for this year. We're super excited to introduce our new marketing gameplay bullet points today. Firstly, we're introducing the all-new Extreme Pass Initiative. Now, when the quarterback throws a pass to a receiver, and a receiver walks into the area called the end zone, they will now score what we're calling an extreme touchdown. During an extreme touchdown, a ratings boost will be granted to players who perform an extreme gritty, which you can buy for only 500 Madden points and Madden Ultimate Team. Don't worry though, EA Play Pro members get 10% off Madden point purchases. In addition to Boom Tech and our Field Sense gameplay systems, we're also introducing the Boom Sense Momentum system, featuring incredibly realistic tackles, as if real NFL players stepped off the gridiron and onto your TV screen. The hit stick will now gather your defensive player's momentum when timed correctly. Timing the hit stick is also a totally 100% new feature that did not exist in previous titles. Thank you for joining us for the new marketing hype video for Madden NFL. We can't wait for your purchases of the $150 Madden and College Football 25 MVP bundle. EA Sports, give us your money. All right. Honestly, I enjoyed the chat's reaction to that more than anything. Thank you so much. EA Sports Mansplaining Edition. You should watch one of their videos once. It's literally just full of that. Where does the parody start? That is so true. Yeah, it really doesn't. Can't wait to see LeBron James on the field for Madden Online. Yeah, that is very true. Thank you all so much. Glad you guys like that one, it seems. So the next 4 categories we have are all about RPGs. RPGs personally have had a big impact on me. I mean, I first got into them really with the Persona series. I got into Persona 3, the original. And ever since then, I've been a big fan of the genre. I mean, it can really tell stories in an impactful way. So that's why it has 4 awards here. 2 for Action RPG 2024 at all time, and same thing for turn-based, with a special presenter for the last one. So let's get through these ones first of all. So we have Best Action RPG of 2024. The nominees are... advertisements. I forgot those existed. Very cool. That's opportune, in fact. So I'll just kind of go a little bit slower. I'll try to snooze some of the ads for now. I'll try to go a little bit slower. So the nominees we have are Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Path of Exile 2, and Stellar Blade. Now, of course, these are, I mean, what can I say? These are all big games, particularly, of course, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that kind of thing. All of these deserve to be on here. They're all very good. And yes, I'm waffling for time to try to get these, hopefully some people to be back from ads. By the way, yes, you can technically subscribe to the channel to get no more ads, but I'm not going to force you to do that. The winner of Best Action RPG of 2024 is, of course, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't think we've gotten any surprises yet, really, here. It was actually a fairly close vote, at least compared to the other ones, with just 5 votes in its favor, which was enough, obviously, for it to win. But you have Black Myth Wukong and Stellar Blade, both each got 3 votes. And then Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth at 1 vote. By the way, awedball, you actually could have changed your vote before the vote thing closed by just going to the form again. I did allow that. But either way, let's move on now to Best Action RPG of all time. So this one is, of course, an all-time category. So this can include everything from any year. And I realized I put the wrong graphic in the background, but deal with it. We have, for the nominees, we have Bloodborne from 2015, Dark Souls 3 from 2016. Hopefully that quashes the Souls fandom, but probably won't. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim from 2011, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild from 2017, The Witcher 3 from 2015, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3 from 2022. And of course, the winner for Best Action RPG of all time is 3 of them. So we got our first tie here tonight. So how I decided to break up this tie is by using Metacritic scores, because I don't want to get flamed for personally picking one of them. So I'm copping out. Sorry. So you can probably guess from these nominees now what it's gonna be, and of course it's gonna be Breath of the Wild. So I mean, Yeah, woo, music. Gonna have music for all the all-time ones, by the way, just because I can. Congratulations to, of course, to Breath of the Wild. Very deserving game to win this. As you can see, it was very close between Skyrim and Breath of the Wild. Then, of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, as great of a game as that is, just couldn't compete on the Metacritic rating because, I don't know, Xenoblade isn't really big on the critics, I guess you could say. All right, thank you very much, Siestro, as well, for gifting a sub to Distopunk. Greatly appreciate your benevolence, sir. And thank you to all 12 of you for showing up for the stream tonight. That's incredible. We are getting something. We are getting something here tonight. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, here are the vote tallies, by the way. These are the raw vote tallies before the ties are broken. So as you can see, it was we were barely able to decide a winner for this one. This one is just incredibly close. I mean, the other categories got votes, and it was very close. So Xenoblade making it into the tie was kind of wild. I was surprised by that, but yeah. Hello, Blake. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. All right. Best turn-based RPG of 2024. Our last category before we get our first special presenter tonight. Very exciting, very exciting. We have, of course, for our nominees, we have Mario and Luigi Brothership, Metaphor ReFantasio, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door Remake, Persona 3 Reload, and Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. All very, very, very cool games. This one is a really tough category for me, honestly. So many good turn-based RPGs coming out this year. But, of course, the winner is Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door Remake. You all expected that, right? Right? Maybe? Did any of you expect that? I sure didn't. I was stumped when I looked at these results. It was very close, actually. Persona 3 Reload was actually up there as well. This isn't exactly how I expected it to go at all, honestly, but it's very cool. And that's it's very nice. It's not rigged. It's definitely it's not rigged. I don't have the time for that. But anyway, to present the next category, which is best turn-based RPG of all time, we actually have a special guest. He is a Twitch streamer and competitive Splatoon player. So if we could, at this point, please welcome TriforceComet to the show to present our next award. Take it away.
Yes, hello. So the winner for best turn-based RPG of all time is yep. Okay. Did you weren't expecting me to get right into it? Oh, you want me to waffle? I can waffle. Turn-based RPGs, they're really impactful to me. They're really cool, guys. Anyways, the best turn-based RPG of all time is a tie with Earthbound. Wait, what? Oh my. Well, tie with Earthbound winning. Yeah.
Sorry
Can't
about
hear
that.
Michael right
Oh
now.
my
That's
god,
awesome.
I'm waffling this up, baby.
Guys,
all right,
I'm
but yeah.
the streamer.
Yeah, thank you though, Triforce, for coming on. Anything else you want to say about turn-based RPG of all time?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I'm sorry. You'll get your chance in the next award and one of the other awards. Thank you. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I feel so bad for him. I forgot about this tie, but basically it was too. I couldn't break it with Metacritic because basically it doesn't exist on Metacritic, so I just had to choose, and I chose Earthbound because that's my favorite game of the two. So sorry about that. Triforce will probably be entitled to give me a blood sacrifice or whatever. But anyway, here are the vote tallies. So, as you can see, very, very close. Chrono Trigger was way up there. Do not wrap me up. You're not Jeff Keighley, sir. Anyway, here, those are the vote tallies for those. All right, here's how This next segment is an impact segment about how an RPG brings stories to life. So this will talk a bit about how RPG stories specifically can kind of elevate a story beyond like a book or a movie or a TV show. So enjoy. Stories have been a crucial element of humanity from its beginning. Classic novels are still debated upon and discussed to this very day, and this has extended more recently to TV shows and movies. However, this also does extend to video games, and this potential has only recently been unleashed, with many TV and movie adaptations of video games releasing this year, such as For The Last of Us, Yakuza, and Fallout. In fact, I'll make the argument that RPGs are one of the best ways to truly immerse yourself in a story and feel the emotions that the characters feel as you journey alongside them. To confirm this, I decided to interview a good friend of mine who's into RPGs to see how their stories have affected them personally. So first of all, how do you feel about RPGs in general?
I think that they are the genre that defines video games for me as a whole. I love the gameplay variety in RPGs. There are a million different playstyles that an RPG can take because it's such a broad definition, yet it means something so specific to a lot of people. I also really appreciate the emphasis on story because that's something that really pushes video games to a higher level when you can have an excellent game, yes, but then also a story that makes your life different afterwards, right? It changes you forever. So RPGs are the means by which a game can do that.
What do you consider to be your favorite RPG?
My favorite RPG is actually between two, but I'll give the answer that I think is the most relevant today, and that would be Xenoblade Chronicles, the original on the Wii.
Okay.
I believe that it has a intense, very active combat style that makes it addictive to play for hours on end. It's very long, but the story is so rich. I love the layers of foreshadowing, the thematic elements, all of it's like an entire narrative that you would find in a book, but just played out in a video game. It's incredible. The cinematography is also next level, and that's something else that I just love to death about it, is the fact that it really brings the screen to life.
But yeah, then I must ask, how has Xenoblade Chronicles impacted you?
Honestly, I think that the way that Xenoblade has really impacted me as a gamer is it's refined my taste quite a bit. I have so much of a higher standard now for what games I'll play because of Xenoblade. Recently playing through Persona 5 has been amazing because I've been seeing a lot of these parallels to that Xenoblade gameplay loop that I've loved oh so much. It's so active, it's so fun, the exploration's always top notch, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think that the fact that Xenoblade was able to really define what I loved in an RPG makes it so special to me.
Do you think playing it as a video game rather than watching it as a movie or TV show or reading it in a book or something made a difference in how you experienced it, how you felt about it?
Entirely. I believe that the experience of playing it not only can help the pace, right? You're playing the game, so it's going to be a little bit slower than if you were to, say, watch all the cutscenes. But if you were to watch a Let's Play, you're still missing a bit of that tactile function that a game has, where you're genuinely experiencing what the characters in the story are. A very masterful game will employ all these tactics and attempt to immerse you through its gameplay, and you miss out on a lot by just watching. There's a lot of people that complain about bloat in games. Like Persona and Xenoblade are big targets of this, where they say, wow, it just robbed me of 80 hours of my life, right? But I couldn't see it that way, because without that, you really just, it doesn't feel the same.
That is very true. I agree a lot with that. Thank you, Triforce, for featuring in that section. And thank you, in general, for watching that section. I thought it was very cool. But yeah, let's move on now to the next awards here. So we have very engaging. I hope that's not sarcastic. Let's move on to Best Shooter 2024. So we have a few options here. We have Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2, and X Defiant, rest in peace. And the winner, of course, is going to be Marvel Rivals. Not even close on that one, honestly. Marvel Rivals is just like an absolute, it's just absolutely sweeping right now. All of the awards it's nominated for. Just it proves how good of a game it is. It also might prove recency bias, but we're not going to go into that. Next one is for best campaign shooter of all time. So we split the all-time best shooter into two different categories. This is campaign shooter. This is more about the single player campaign. Since I feel like it's almost kind of a genre of its own. Also, Rivals is a shooter. It's a hero shooter. It's in the genre. But either way, this is for the best single player campaign of all time for this. Why Halo 3? Because I like Halo 3. I don't know. Let's go. Let's go into the nominees. BioShock 2 from 2010, Borderlands 2 from 2012, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 from 2012. Good year for campaign shooters. Doom Eternal from 2020, which actually won Game of the Year at TRM Community Game Awards 2020. Fallout New Vegas 2010, Half-Life 2 from 2004. And of course, Halo 3 from 2007, which I'm apparently being flamed for liking. But the winner is going to be Half-Life 2, of course. Thank you, everyone, for voting on that one, and congratulations to Half-Life 2 for winning. It's just like. It wasn't even like it wasn't even close, honestly. That's just kind of I'm sure y'all kind of expected it, but yep, it did win. Congratulations to Half-Life 2. Also, I played the original Halo, and I was working on Halo 2, Dystopunk, by the way, for Halo games I've played. Let's move on though to best online shooter of all time. So the nominees for this one are Apex Legends 2019, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 from 2011, CSGO/CS2, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm calling it the same game, from 2012, Fortnite from 2017. I had to put it on there, otherwise I would die. Team Fortress 2 from 2007, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege from 2015. So the winner in that category is oh yeah, and they tied, but ultimately Team Fortress 2 comes up on top by the Metacritic score. So congratulations to Team Fortress 2. It was very close, but it ultimately did win. These are, of course, the results. As you can see, it wasn't even close except for the tie between Fortnite and Team Fortress 2. Tim Sweeney got scammed. Banning me. Look, you guys, if you guys voted more heavily for, Fortnite, it would have won. I'm just saying, it's your show, man. I'm just telling you, you won. Black Ops 2 should have won. You know that. I still think Modern Warfare 3 is the better online shooter for Call of Duty, but whatever. We're not going to go into this right now. Let's learn more about shooters, actually, this time with our next Impact segment on how shooters sharpen gamers up. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sometimes shooters are not taken very seriously or even outright ridiculed by some gamers. They can be seen as kids' games, despite many of them having an M for mature rating, or as bottom of the barrel due to shooters' oversaturation and a general bias against popular games. However, these games have massive popularity for a reason. They are fun, generally easy to pick up, but hard to master, and can offer a variety of different game modes and compelling stories along the way, all while getting to mow down enemies. To learn more about the impact of shooters on gamers, I decided to interview a couple friends of mine who are big on shooters. First of all, what do you enjoy about shooters in general?
I really enjoy shooters because typically, or at least the shooters I really like, they have a really high skill ceiling so that no matter where you are in the game, you can always improve. And I just like gaming, I guess. Like, just satisfying to get headshots, you know?
He's an epic gamer.
That I am.
I enjoy the way that they have an active play style, but they are still very tactical. A lot of stuff about positioning is just so unique to the shooter genre.
So, what is your favorite shooter game of all time, and how has that shooter had an impact on you?
Easily Team Fortress 2. It's the shooter I have the most hours in. Its skill ceiling is so high, there's always something new to learn in the game. And this is funny, I remember when I was too young to play mature-rated games, I saw YouTube videos of other people playing TF2, and I was, like, fascinated. I really wanted to play it, but I couldn't because I was too young. I ended up downloading it without my parents' permission and played it when they weren't looking. I think they know about that now, but I'm old enough where it's not a grudge at all.
All right, make sure Scion's parents get this so he can hear about how much your son's a bad boy over here.
I wanted to play the best shooter game of all time. I don't know if I can say that.
I
Probably,
mean,
but
I guess it is in your opinion.
I'd like to think so.
My personal favorite shooter game of all time has got to be Splatoon 3. I love how inventive it is for the genre. It does things no other game has ever done.
Well, that would lead into kind of the follow-up question for that. How has that shooter had an impact on you? How has Splatoon 3 had that impact?
I've loved a lot of the social elements. For starters, the community is amazing, but at the same time, I also really appreciate the deep strategy and the engaging movement with short battles that makes it very easy to jump into. So a lot of that has just led Splatoon 3 to be a very easy top pick for me.
Going more into impact, so many things that I carry into all the shooter games I've played, that started in TF2 for me, like especially the concept of game sense and positioning, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
That has basically guided me to how to play the other shooters on the market.
And speaking of which, yeah, what are your favorite mechanics about TF2?
This might be a little broad for TF2, but TF2 is just like that high of a skill ceiling. There's so much to it. It's blast jumping, which is it includes like rocket jumping, sticky jumping, sentry jumping, and surfing to some extent. That's like kind of in there.
Okay.
It's skill-based mobility as a concept is just really cool. This particular mechanic, there are so many ways to do it. There are like in TF2, like community servers, there are like jump maps where people are trying to hone the skill. The hardest ones I can't even get any progress on, which goes to show the insane skill ceiling that this mechanic has.
I really love the resource management element of it. You're constantly diving into your ink to refill your ink tank on your back so that you can use more of your attacks, but at the same time that's letting you reposition, so there's never a dull moment. Even when you're reloading in Splatoon, you're always on the move. So it makes resource management a very active decision as opposed to some other shooters where reloading's something that you would like to avoid until it's absolutely necessary.
But thank you for joining me for the shooter ordeal. Do you have anything else you want to say about shooters?
Do not reward the shooters that like they just want your money and it's clear. Those shooters I don't really like. Overwatch is like the shooter I played after Team Fortress 2. I do not play Overwatch anymore because Blizzard fumbled so hard.
Because Blizzard, yes. You can stop it because Blizzard.
All I'd like to say is that I really like the fact that there's not just competitive shooters. I know I've been talking basically exclusively about those, but shooters that push narratives are also incredibly dear to me. So that's something I must commend the genre for, especially the fact that that's, I think, made a bit more of a resurgence since the Xbox 360 era, you know?
All right. Thank you to Scion and Triforce for featuring in that section about shooters. They all made very good points. I agree with all of those points. Thank you very much. Let's move on now to Best Soundtrack of 2024, which we actually have a special guest to introduce. So please welcome Twitch streamer and speedrunner TZ Scion to present this award. All right, take it away, Mr. Scion.
Yep, thanks for having me for this. So, of course, I was chosen. I forget if like you chose me for this or if I like volunteered, but like my thing is like music and audio engineering and that stuff. So I can really appreciate when a game has a good soundtrack, especially like a meaningful soundtrack. So without further ado, our nominees are Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Metaphor ReFantazio, Persona 3 Reload, and Super Mario Party Jamboree. And our winner is Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah, expecting that.
I have not heard this soundtrack. I should look into it.
Oh, it's a banger, honestly. Such a good soundtrack. You heard one of the songs at the beginning if you joined the stream at the very beginning. That was Persona 3
right.
Reload. But
I probably heard a lot of songs.
It actually it wasn't even close too. It was actually a very kind of an uncontested debate, but it is fire. It is such a good soundtrack. If you haven't listened to it, do some justice and to listen to that. Thank you, Sion, for coming on and presenting the award. I greatly appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for having me again.
No problem. But yeah, Brothership won in my heart. Well, I mean, it did get the most votes apart from Persona 3 Reload, so yeah. Thank you, Sion, for presenting that award. Next, we have Best Narrative of 2024, which actually we have another guest to present. So please welcome YouTuber and Windows Longhorn enthusiast, Mr. Samuel Campbell, aka the Yellow Polar Bear, to present this one. So go ahead.
The you know what I'm saying? The award for Best Narrative, as you know, it spotlights the title that strive to showcase a strong sense of what it means to capture the undying attention and emotions from a player in an effort to enhance the entire game as a whole. Isn't that right, Michael?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That is true. See, he agrees. But the problem is, you know, most games from this category have benefited from an insane amount of critical acclaim, but were subsequently ignored by the Game Awards, which is why I am sincerely begging that Silent Hill 2 wins Best Narrative, and as a matter of fact, I'm not hoping. I personally threatened Michael on multiple occasions.
This is true.
Things just have to go my way. That's all I'm saying.
What are the nominees?
But without further ado, the nominees are for Best Narrative 2024: A Thousand Times Resist, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, Refantazio,
Gaglio.
yeah, and Silent Hill 2. And
The winner?
fuck yeah, Silent Hill 2, bitch. That's the winner. I didn't even say that was the winner. Sorry. Fuck yeah. Eat shit, you fucking metaphor looking asses. Oh my goodness. And it snubbed. It's not snubbed, what's the word? It sweeped. It fucking sweeped the vote, man. Oh my goodness. That shit wasn't even close. Michael, you get to live another day.
Thank
Cherish
you.
this day.
I
Because you
will.
might not have another one after this. Oh
What?
my goodness.
What did I do?
Thank you, everyone. Have a good award. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samuel, for presenting. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay. Thank you to Simon for presenting that. Yes, the winner of Best Narrative is Silent Hill 2, and it wasn't even really close. Silent Hill 2 did take it. Very deserving of the nomination. Very deserving of the win. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, no, that's the way Samuel is. Samuel's a great presenter. I'm glad to have him on the show tonight. That's gore. That's gore by Comfort Random Melon. I'm killing all of you. Anyway, best co-op game of all time. So another all-time award. This one, of course, is just the best game that you can play cooperatively. Here are the 6 nominees for this award. We have Don't Starve Together from 2014, Halo 3 from 2007. Yes, Halo 3 sweep, deal with it. It Takes Two from 2021, Overcooked 2 from 2018, Portal 2 from 2011, and Stardew Valley from 2016. And the winner for this award is... It's Portal 2. Why wouldn't it be? Of course it's Portal 2. But it was actually fairly close. Congratulations to Portal 2. Valve winning both of the awards they've been nominated for so far. Absolute Valve sweep tonight. So that's pretty cool to see. Thank you very much for voting on that one. Thank you for voting for the vote I wanted, because Portal 2 is cool. No, but Halo 3 actually being up there is very interesting. I didn't expect that, but I'm glad because I've been having a lot of fun playing the co-op Halo 3. Wow, I've fucked up my computer. Very cool. All right, let me make sure this is the right. But yeah, you just saw Stanley Parable win Best Comedy Game of All Time. Woo! Oh my god, my computer is dead. Anyway. Anyway, yeah. Borderlands 2, Earthbound, I Expect You to Die, Saints Row the Third, Sandbox Hit the Road. To be fair, I'm not too heartbroken about this one because, I mean, it wasn't even close. It's Stanley Parable. It's just Stanley Parable. I don't know. I'll play the theme for you. There you go. You get to have the introducing Stanley theme in the background for this now. Congratulations to the Stanley Parable for winning Best Comedy Game of All Time. It just wasn't even close. Earthbound got a few votes, but no, Stanley Parable, absolute sweep. I don't know. It makes most sense to me. Earthbound should have swept. That's sad, yeah. But now we actually have a special made segment. This is entirely Triforce, so you haven't gotten enough of listening to him tonight. Now you get even more of him. Here is his section on why gameplay is art.
Hello, I'm TriforceComet, and I've been playing games for quite some time. As long as I can remember, actually. Which I'm sure is a sentiment shared by many, if not all of you watching this. Video games have always spoken to me on more levels than simply being a fun diversion or entrance into escapism. I'm of the belief that gameplay in itself is an art form, and I don't mean the expressive graphics, deep narratives, or rich soundtracks, which are by all means art forms within themselves. Art, by its barest definition, is the expression or application of human creative skill or imagination. Many people default to believing that a video game gains artistic merit through its story or presentation. To some others, only classically proven mediums such as movies, music, or physical art are deserving of even being considered in an artistic sense. In my opinion, however, when you think about video games as a whole, it's readily apparent that gameplay in itself is art. Let's look at various genres to see what I mean, including classic gems and modern masterpieces. One of the most well-known games of all time is Tetris, a puzzle game without much to it other than a memorable soundtrack and gameplay. The game is too old to have revolutionary graphics by any stretch of the imagination, and while A-Type originates from Tetris and is good music, many people wouldn't consider Tetris artistic from that in itself. I see puzzle games as artistic in the way they push an element of human capacity with their natural design consequences, being critical thought and, in the case of a game like Tetris, reactive planning. Tetris in the modern day has evolved into something greater and has been pushed to the human limit. Recently, people have gone as far as to do what many thought was impossible for a human. A player named Blue Scooty reached the kill screen, the furthest possible score in a game that was theoretically endless, if not for technical limitations. Other players had been attempting this for over a decade, and being so highly contentious brought out not only a spirit of competition, but collaboration too, as different players attempted to help each other learn the most effective strategies. This culminating in a win by Blue Scooty is a clear testament to human determination. The way Tetris pushes the most talented individuals amongst us to the point of failure and incentivizes a struggle for the human limit is a deeply artistic process. A more classic style of game, Platformers, offers an incredibly unique element through its level design, by which we can explore gaming as an art form. Super Mario World on the SNES is littered with examples of seemingly innocuous design choices that were deliberately chosen to create a more compelling gaming experience. If the player selects Yoshi's Island 1, it opens a unique opportunity for the developers to manufacture an experience for first-time players of the platforming genre. As the level opens, a Koopa immediately slides towards Mario from above, but it won't actually defeat you unless you wait too long or walk into him. The purpose of it is to cause an intuitive response to hit a button, any button, and odds are you'll have jumped as it's the only face button that performs an immediately obvious action. The player can use this information, how to jump, and inform their next action by jumping over the Koopa. Another key example of this, far later in the game, is in World 5, the Forest of Illusion. Throughout the world, you can't progress unless you complete multiple secret exits to the levels, otherwise you're taken back on a loop to the start. This serves to force players to be aware of common ways the game hides secret exits, encouraging a more thorough exploration of the world for players who may have found the prospect of unlocking secret exits to be daunting. Ultimately, even if a player were to not care about going back to prior areas, the very next world, Choco Island, once again requires the location of a secret exit to be found in order to progress. The developers used their mastery of game design to create something that is incredibly subjective according to this player, yet guides them towards a set of given conclusions very gently. From that, I'm confident in calling Super Mario World's level design artistic. A modern hit with a flawless integration between level design and gaming as an art form is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's an expansive open-world game that provides just enough information to keep the player experiencing new things, even hundreds of hours after first picking it up. The game manages this by starting you on a smaller encapsulation of the greater world and the Great Plateau, and asks you to explore all around before you may progress. They then avoid the rest of the game being formulaic by adding unique and isolated areas in every region of the world. A thundering plain where you must solve puzzles without the use of metal weapons. A dark ruin with an eerie atmosphere, and others like that. In combination with a dynamic physics engine and a built-in Swiss Army knife toolkit on your character at all times, Breath of the Wild is an incredibly self-expressive game. Breath of the Wild's gameplay itself is art, as the open-ended nature allows anybody to take away different emotional imprints based on their own sense of adventure. It took a long time for gaming as a whole to be considered a worthwhile hobby, and while we haven't reached the point where it can be considered an artistic medium on its own merits to so many people, if more of us keep being passionate and strive to share what makes gaming so special to us, there's a very real chance that games that touch your heart may be seen as something to aspire to. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching.
All right, great. Another ad, right, as Triforce's thing ends. I stop ad blocking me, Calvin. I'm gonna be found in a fucking ditch next week if you keep skipping the ads. No, thank you all though so much for watching and sticking through despite the ads, and thank you to Triforce for putting together that segment. That segment is very, very good. Honestly, very, very very, very cool. Very, very cool segment. And yes, I'm waffling for time for the people with ads. But yes, again, thank you, Triforce, for doing that. I believe we can move on, though. Seems like most of your ads are done. So we shall move on. So this one, I mean, is it really going to be that much of a surprise? And we'll go through the most anyway. Most anticipated game nominees are Grand Theft Auto 6, Hollow Knight Silksong, Metroid Prime 4, Okami 2, and The Witcher 4. And the winner... It's Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, it's gonna be Grand Theft Auto 6. Grand Theft Auto 6 sweep indeed. This is the only award it's nominated for since it's not even out yet. So, I mean, that's just gonna kind of be the way it is. I must say though, I'm glad it won just on the basis of the already picked background works so well with it works so well with the actual like stream layout. So there we go. It actually looks really cool. But anyway, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6 won. Congratulations to that game. And of course, we have Best Art Direction of 2024. Now, this one's a bit more of a contest. Some beautiful art has been in games over the past few years. The nominees here are Astrobot, Hades 2, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Metaphor Refantasio, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door Remake, and Thank Goodness You're Here. And the winner for Best Art Direction of 2024 is, of course, Astrobot, which it actually was... I mean, it was a little close, but it wasn't overly so. I mean, Paper Mario 1000-Year Door Remake was the runner-up. Of course, Astrobot. No, but I mean, Astrobot does have some really pretty art, and it just has that, I don't know, that coolness to it. Like I said, I personally have a favor for Astrobot, as I may or may not be aware. The Astrobot footage and some of the other stuff is captured by me and everything, so yeah, every frame of Astrobot is appealing. Yeah, I agree, exactly. It just, the colors pop, it looks incredible. It definitely deserves to win this award. So congratulations to Astrobot for doing that. Next award we have is, of course, Best Sound Design of 2024. And when you have guessed it, we got another presenter here to present the award. And, of course, the one, the only, Mr. TZ Scion will be joining us for this award since, you know, Mr. Soundman here. So, Scion, take it away.
Me again.
Yeah, take it away for Best Sound Design.
Yep, I'm back with my audio engineering self. So, Best Sound Design, it's sort of a similar concept to Best Soundtrack, in fact. Like, honestly, if you were to be, like, I guess, philosophical about it, there's not really much difference between soundtrack and sound design. But I digress. You can, in a game, you can have a lot of meaningful control over sound design, same way you can do in a soundtrack. So, and all of these games did that, to be fair, that the nominees, Astrobot, Ball Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Silent Hill 2. And the winner is, Samuel's gonna love this, Silent Hill 2!
Yeah! You will get to live another day, Scion. Congratulations. Honestly, it was very close, though. Astrobot was just one vote away from tying it. So it was pretty close between Silent Hill 2 and Astrobot. Yeah. But Sion's right. All of the games here deserved it. Truly incredible work.
Funny enough, I actually haven't heard Silent Hill 2.
Oh, no. They do some really good stuff.
Check out after this.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. They do some insane stuff for the horror. It's really cool. Yeah, thank you, Scion, for presenting this award. Greatly appreciate you coming on once again.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. So, yes, Samuel will hopefully not hunt me down in my sleep tonight because Silent Hill 2, sweet baby. All right. Anyway. Now, speaking of sound, you get to hear Scion waffle more about sound as we discuss how sound impacts games. When you think about the core elements of a video game, what do you think of? Gameplay, game design, graphics, characters, music even? Well, I'd be shocked if your answer to that question was sound or sound design, but this is a factor that can greatly improve or greatly degrade a video game's overall feel. Immersive sound design, as found in this year's nominees for Best Sound Design, pull you into a whole new world. To discover how it's done, and how it has impacted gamers, I decided to ask an audio engineering friend of mine about this subject. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience with audio?
I am in college studying audio engineering, and I've been in this program for about 2 years now. And of course, I'm a gamer, so
yeah,
I've been thinking about audio in terms of games for a while now.
What role does sound design play in shaping the player's emotional experience while, playing a game?
I really enjoyed this question because
thank you.
The answer is shocking. It's unfathomable how much sound design impacts it. You can think of it a lot like graphics, actually, with how much you're able to do with sound. Each individual sound can be designed with a profound purpose. Say you want to enhance the realism and immersion of the game, have some really realistic sounds in there. You can have a sound that may not be as realistic but is intended to direct your attention somewhere. Okay. You can have a sound that's funny to create a funny moment in the game. You can quite literally do anything with sound design. It's part of the whole package. It's one part in how a whole game shapes the player's emotional experience.
Is there a game you can think of where its sound design heavily impacted your view on it, positively or negatively?
The game that comes to mind is Deep Rock Galactic, and this is definitely positive. You can tell just by listening to the sounds how much care and attention went into the sound design, especially things you might not even think about, considerations for how often players will hear certain sounds, how they tie into what the player finds important in the game. There was one mission type where you need to mine a material called Morkite, and they made the sound for this extremely satisfying because they knew that this is the objective and we're going to want players to pursue this. So the sound design, honestly becomes a part of the gameplay loop. There are so many other examples I could choose for that game.
What do you think gamers should watch for the next, I guess, more listened for the next time they play a game in terms of its sound.
What I want to invite people to do is just whenever they're playing the video game of choice, any game, listen with an open ear and think critically about each sound that you hear. Like, why does that sound like that? Why did the developers do that? And like, what were they intending? And did they succeed in accomplishing their goal there? Even in games with bad sound design, this exercise is a really good way of learning how sound design can be done wrong, so that you can better appreciate it when it's done right. And then of course, if you do it with a game with really good sound design, it's just affirmation of how you do it right.
All right, thank you very much, Scion, for speaking to me for that section. Scion did such a good job there. If you get him yapping about audio, you can't stop getting him yap, but he gives some really, really good insights. I was glad to have him on for that one. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, let's get through a few more awards here. So we got Best Speedrun Game of 2024. So this is kind of a fairly unique genre for us. Just the best game for speedrunning, really. The nominees this year that we put in, and this was actually highly debated, mostly amongst Zion, but we have Astrobot, Balatro, Chained Together, Hades 2, Shadow Generations, and UFO 50, and the winner for that one is Chained Together. It was actually a tie, but for a category like this, I didn't really want to use Metacritic because it seemed like that's not really rating speedrunning, so I just asked Scion to choose, to be honest, and he chose this one after a lot of debate. If you know him, he super debated it, but Chained Together, really cool game. It does deserve to win this one. Congratulations to that game. Best roguelike of all time. Now, amongst this community in particular, this one is going to be a huge category right now. Going to be highly contentious too. I'm sure we're talking a lot about it in the after show. But anyway, here are your nominees for this one: Balatro from 2024, Cult of the Lamb from 2022, Enter the Gungeon from 2016, Hades from 2020, Slay the Spire from 2019, Spelunky 2008, and The Binding of Isaac from 2011. And the winner for this category is... It's Binding of Isaac. It's not Balatro. And it wasn't even close either. I mean, Balatro had half the votes, but congratulations to The Binding of Isaac for winning Best Roguelike of all time. Truly an incredible game. It pretty much kickstarted the modern indie genre, to be honest with you. It's such an impactful game. I mean, it's why I believe it's one of the nominees for most influential as well, so it does win it up there. It really started the modern indie genre. It deserves to be on this list. Congratulations to Binding of Isaac on that one. The next one we have, speaking of indie games, Best Indie Game of 2024, but of course we have a redemption arc to do with here. We have TriforceComet, our favorite man here, back on the show to talk a bit about indie games, read us nominees, and give us the winner on that one.
I can't believe it. I'm actually here, and we're doing it right this time. So the nominees, I'm going to run down the nominees and talk about why they're so special. The first nominee is Animal Well. The second one's Balatro. We've got Hades 2, Plucky Squire, and UFO 50. And the fact that all of these games are sitting here and they're all highly contentious, they were things that we had considered for Game of the Year even. That says a lot about how India has just pushed itself recently, and it's created such a beautiful diversity in terms of the kinds of games that you're just seeing out on the market. You know, being limited to major studios is rough, but now that we've been able to push indies into the limelight, I'm pleased to announce that the winner is Balatro. Congratulations to Balatro. It did so well.
Yeah, well, look at the vote tally. It did really well. 10 votes in favor of Balatro.
That's incredible. Thanks for having me back on to have a redemption there.
Yeah, Triforce Redemption Art, baby. Give it up for him. Let's go. Thank you very much, Triforce, for presenting that one. And yeah, Local Funk keeps winning. Not even close. It's Balatro. Although all of these games deserve to be on here. Incredible, incredible year for indies. Hi, Duders. Thank you for joining right as Balatro comes up. Yeah, no, it definitely deserves it. Incredible, incredible game. But now let's get into this video is going to be a fan favorite. I know it. Samuel's going to steal my entire fucking thunder from me at this point. But this segment is truly awesome. I know you guys are going to enjoy this. This is how game mechanics become mainstream, presented by Samuel Campbell, aka the Yellow Polar Bear. Have fun.
After engaging in his daily feet sucking, Quentin Tarantino famously stated how he, quote, steals from every single movie ever made. But he's right, believe it or not, Morris Moss wasn't the first person to say that Winner's Vista was bad, and Borat Sagdiyev didn't invent racism, and the exact same thing can be said for games, just in a slightly different context. This may bring some of you to your knees, but Five Nights at Freddy's didn't invent game saves. Can you guess what game it is? I highly doubt it because there are a ton of fucking games out there, but the answer is commonly agreed to be Zelda. You could probably argue that this is more of an innovation with the hardware than the game itself, since Link doesn't fill in a mail-in form to send a coin battery to your house, but it was a fairly expansive game for its time, so it could be argued to be a turning point for game design. And that's something this game solidified. That's not to say there were choose-your-own-adventure type games, as these are rather common on text-based systems, but making a fusion of this formula with an open-world adventure environment would eventually enforce a new standard, which is why this piece of shit was confusing. And it made me think, what other game mechanics have the nominees on Most Influential Game of All Time made mainstream? Gotta be honest, I've never played this game, but I'll take this guy's word for it and believe that it just works. Super Mario 64 was pretty cool. Let's face it, virtually every 3D platformer nowadays has stolen from Mario 64. Even non-platformers like Grand Theft Auto have admitted to stealing from this era of Nintendo gaming. Miyamoto famously stated how precise jumping derived from 2D games just wouldn't work in the transition to 3D. And this resulted in a game that is shockingly fluid to play, except for the f***ing camera. Camera control was something in its infancy at the time, not gonna deny that. And with the N64 actually having the button layout to support it, this is definitely an integral game mechanic that would become mainstream enough for Sony to release a new controller. But the movement, oh my god. Go play this game again and it'll shock you how astonishingly smooth it plays for a game that is nearing 30 years old. And it shows, as most games from this era suffer from an evil, satanic torture experiment known as tank controls. Games from this era that are Fortnite Golden Gun examples of storytelling, gameplay, and writing are held back by this evil Gates Foundation funded experiment. It should also be mentioned that Mario 64 convinced Gabe Newell that video games can be considered art. As someone who is a big fan of funny things, Portal certainly made humorous connections with characters, environments, and objects more mainstream. This was always a somewhat prevalent theme in gaming throughout the past couple of decades by that point, but this mechanic of humorous storytelling and writing definitely benefited from a sudden increase in popularity after Portal, especially with the release of games like Stanley Parable, Saint Rose 3, and it also centered around physics-based puzzles, which blatantly stole from Half-Life 2, those fucking thieves. Let's face it, puzzles are one thing, but physics-based puzzles, what games have been influenced by that? I know you guys may want to unsubscribe from my OnlyFans after hearing this, but I haven't played any of the other nominees. Enjoy the rest of the TRM Community Game Awards. Fuck you, Jeff Keighley, for not rigging the vote and ensuring that Silent Hill 2 won Best Narrative. Wrap it up, buddy.
Oh my, thank you so much, Samuel. Truly, fuck. Samuel's stealing the whole show from me at this point. Oh my god, absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Samuel. That's actually a really cool segment, though. He made some really good points, and he did it in his way, let's say. Really, really cool, though. Thank you. Let's move on, though, to most neglected franchise, at least currently, not historically. So this one has to be one where it hasn't received a mainline title in a long while. So no stupid little spin-offs or anything like that. Doesn't count. Needs to have like an actual regular mainline title. Here are the nominees: Banjo-Kazooie, F-Zero, Jak and Daxter, Mega Man, Portal, and Star Fox. And of course, the winner, it is all of them, but we can only have one winner. So the winner is, of course, Mega Man. What do you expect? It's Mega Man. And it kind of swept the votes a little bit. It's Mega Man. Star Fox is super neglected. That's why it's on the list. That's why I got second place on the list here. But it's Mega Man. I'm sorry. Capcom winning this award is not a good thing. Please make another Mega Man. I am begging. I beg. But yeah. And then most influential game of all time, we're gonna bring back our fan favorite boy. We got Samuel Campbell in the house to go over most influential game of all time. So go ahead.
So as you know, as I explained earlier, I've played like 2 of these games. So honestly, I've got one that I'm laying my eyes on here, and quite frankly, if any of the other ones win, like, I don't know, Michael, you're kind of on thin ice today. So like, I'd be shaking in my boots if I were you. Okay.
What did I do?
What's the winner, buddy? Show me the winner. And the
I
winner for most
already
influential
did.
game of all
I
time.
fucked up and I put it in the wrong channel. So anyone that's looking at the VC chat saw it. But anyway.
No, I gotta read out the nominees first. Sorry, I'm not looking at the screen. Most influential game of all time: Fallout, Half-Life 2, Portal, Quake, Super Mario 64, Super Meat Boy, and The Elder Scrolls 3. The winner is... Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's not that dramatic.
Super Mario 64, bitch. Like, yeah.
Fuck, I forgot to play the music. There you go, music.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. See, you know what? I just, I bring out the deserving ones. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't even close. Like Silent Hill 2 wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Not even close.
Not even close. Thank you, Samuel, for coming on again to present that award. Greatly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, it is, of course, Super Mario 64. Congratulations to Super Mario 64. Truly an influential game. Does deserve to be up here. Quake with 4 votes. Yes, Quake does deserve to be out here. Quake was very influential in the shooter genre. But yeah, congratulations. Yeah, Quake did give us WASD. Very influential game. But yeah, congratulations, like I said, to Super Mario 64. Not really a big surprise there. All right, we're down to our last 2 awards. We're actually kind of right on time here. So this is Game of the Year, first of all. So, of course, this is just the best game of, well, the year. Let's learn more about the nominees with this short sizzle reel. All right, and those are the Game of the Year nominees. It appears Hi. Who's this guy I see on stage here?
I'm gonna do it after the award. You silly guy.
But why are you here?
Oh, I wanna thank my Orthodox Rabbi Bill Jimmy Carter.
Okay, that's enough for you. There you go. Technically, I should have done it after the award, but screw you. You got your time, Samuel. Bye bye. Game of the year. The game of the year is a fucking tie. Yeah, great. Game of the year is a tie, baby. Between Astrobot and Balatro. Guys couldn't make it easy on me, could you? So, ultimately, though, the winner, based on the Metacritic score, you probably guessed it already, though. Yep, it's Astrobot. It was very close. What if the score tied? Then I would have had to pick it myself, so it would have been Astrobot anyway. But yeah, no, congratulations to Astrobot for winning Game of the Year. Also won Game of the Year at the Actual Game Awards, so it's definitely very deserving of it. Who voted for Black Myth? I will find you. It's not time to hunt down people. But yeah, congratulations to Astrobot. Everyone here received votes set metaphor, unfortunately, but that's the way it is. Astrobot wins. Congratulations on that. And now for the big finale, the final category, Game of All Time. Now, of course, this is just an out of these 6 nominees, which one you believe is the best game of all time, and such a subjective category. Really hard to pick nominees for this, but alas. I actually have a special surprise for you for this one. I got my boy TZ Psy on here, since he's also a musician. He has composed a very special medley, actually, for this montage for Game of All Time. So the song you're about to hear is a medley of all of 6 of these games' songs compiled by TZ Scion. It's really awesome. I think you guys are going to enjoy it a lot. So here it is. Thank you so much to Mr. TZ Sion for putting together that medley. So cool, man. Sorry, I had to take a second. That such a cool medley. That was awesome. That was really, really, really cool. I particularly liked the I don't know about you guys. I really liked the Galaxy one. That was so good. Anyway, let's get on to the winners. So, of course, for Game of All Time, we have Grand Theft Auto 5, Halo Combat Evolved, Minecraft, Super Mario Galaxy, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And the winner for Game of All Time is... It's Minecraft. Congratulations to Minecraft for winning that one. Of course, it wasn't even close on this one, actually. Ocarina of Time got the second amount of votes. And of course, Grand Theft Auto 5 actually got quite a bit of votes, which I was surprised about. That, but yeah, it did. Halo and Skyrim didn't get any, which I was really surprised about. I definitely thought that would get more. That was really interesting. But yeah, thank you very much for voting on those. And congratulations, like I said, to Minecraft on taking that sweep. I swear I didn't rig it for Samuel, despite his threats to kill me or whatever. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching the TRM Community Game Awards 2024. Actually, don't go anywhere just yet, because coming up we have the post-award show where you can come chat with us about the awards, games, and more. And I might actually pop in and just play some games for you, just for fun of it, kind of do a more regular stream. I'll drag some of the people in here, Triforce, Sion, and Samuel and stuff. We can discuss over VC and things like that. Yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. This was a ton of work to put together for multiple people. So give a shout out, director Michael Webb, executive producer myself, and also TriforceComet, producers Samuel Campbell and TZ Sion, lead composer TZ Sion, and the nomination committee of myself, TriforceComet, TZ Sion, Oddball, and SNHK. Thank you all so much for your work in putting this show together. It was so much work, but I really hope it paid off. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. But yeah, like I said, coming up is the post-award show. Come chat with us about the awards, games, and more. We will be right back here in a couple minutes to have that further discussion. So thank you all so much for joining for the TRN Community Game Awards. I've been Michael Webb, and so long from, well, my basement in Wisconsin. Have a good night.